If you think that you are a loser in life, then it doesn't seem to you, but okay. Now seriously, if you think that you are a loser in life and football players with millions of dollars in salaries pulled out a lucky ticket, believe me, you are wrong. The life of a football player is generally quite a difficult crap. Training, injuries, zero free time, and okay, when for this suffering you get goodies money, trophies, glory, but when the result of this bloody plowing becomes a pfft, it's a damn shame. It's even worse when you had everything to become a cool player, but in the end, everything turned out to be a failure. This happened, for example, with Mario Balotelli, who had every chance to become great, but became only a meme. But today, we will talk about other losers. We present 8 players who started off with a bang in their youth, and then their career went down the drain. Someone is to blame themselves, someone was beaten by life, and someone else can still return to a cool level. Let's go! Number 8. Freddie Adu. About this American, zero trouble, rest well in all sorts of things. Freddie was born in Ghana, but when he was young, his mother fulfilled the dream of all CIS residents and won a green card in the city of Rockville, Maryland. Hal started playing football and immediately began to drive everyone crazy. At the age of 10, he played against 14-year-olds, and at 14, in 2004, he made his debut in MLS for DC United. He became the youngest player in the history of the league, and in his first season, he took the MLS Cup and scored 5 goals. We will not smear the topic in detail, but if briefly, in America, the boy took a bunch of cups, a huge rating in FIFA and Total Club Manager. You know him as a football manager, got a licking from Saw and an invitation to the US national team. Hell, even almost moved to Manchester United to Sir Alex Ferguson, but the British rolled him over with a work visa, and Freddie only trained with the legends Mel Bad. This story began in 2006 when the coach of the US team, Bruce Arena, did not take Adu to the World Cup, with the wording that he was too young. Freddie was of course burned by this. And like any teenager, he accused everyone around him of failing up to the 5th generation, from the coach of his club, Real Salt Lake, to the universe. At the age of 18, in 2007, Freddie finally went to Europe to Benfica. Only them, in football, moving from the States to Portugal is career growth. Well, seriously, this is just the perfect place. Median in football is stronger than in America, and a club that consciously works on developing and selling its young people to the top. And now it seemed like the new Pelé would show himself in all his glory. Yeah, I didn't even play there in the 07-08 season. Freddie played 11 matches, and in terms of football, he is mediocre. Proof? His career after Benfica was a loan to Monaco and then down to the bottom. Belenenses, Aris, Rizespor, Philadelphia, Brazilian Bahia, Serbian Jagodina and Finnish Kups. In general, Hell ended his career at 28 years old. Thank you for not drinking yourself to death and not going nuts. Federico Martas, number 7. This guy, with a face similar to either Neymar or a collective farm Totti, was considered almost the main young talent of Italy among all the players born in the early 90s. Once again, we are talking about Italy, where these talents are made on a conveyor belt. Marta raised Lazio, but still, the Golden Finch intercepted him Man United. The young pasta player spent 3 years in the Red Devils Academy. In April 2009, Federica made his debut for the main team. Yes, how could United continue the fight for the Premier League title? The blood of wear and tear had to knock off Aston Villa when the United were burning one. Sir Alex released Macho onto the field. First, Cristiano Ronaldo equalized the score, and then the Italian brought the Devil a victory. 2 matches later, another goal, this time Kika humiliated Sunderland. Marta did not become a first-team player, but quietly, slowly moved toward becoming someone significant for United. But then there was an injury, recovery, a loan to Samp, and that's it. Federico Nani was loaned to Ferguson's homeland, but did not score a single goal for the Genoese. Then it got worse and worse, loans to QPR, Stuttgart, Doncaster, Birmingham, Cardiff. In 2016 in Manchester, they realized that they would not get a new Berbatov and sold him to Novara in Serie B, and then Federico had 2 good seasons in Pontenaico. And now, at 33 years old, he's dusting in another Greek club, Asteros, and says in an interview that he will not return to MU. In general, everything is not so lousy, but we expected something completely different. I wonder if Makta himself is even a little worried. Number 6. Bojan Krikic. The name of this guy has cosmic meme potential, but his football potential was not revealed in La Masia. Bojan shot more than 900 goals, and at 17, with a little bit, debuted for the Barca base earlier than Messi. At all, he took first place in the row of the crowd of losers who were called the new Messi. Serbo-Catalan net received a lot of time under Pep Guardiola, won 63 matches and in them, he scored 41 goals. But over time, Krikic increasingly polished the bench with his ass and then went on tour: Chelsea, Roma, Milan, Ajax, Stoke City, Mainz, Alaves, Montreal. Graduated from Bonn at 32 in Japan, Vissel Kobe. The guy admitted that he simply was not ready for the pressure and fame that fell on him. Bojan is an introvert, therefore he constantly suffered from anxiety and panic attacks. Now he works as the director of the Barca Academy and helps youngsters become what he once did not become himself. Number 4. Ansu Fati. Lamine Yamal. Go to hell, Lamine Yamal. That's exactly what Ansu Fati thinks now. Krikic is the same as Bona talent from the Barca Academy who was called the new Messi. If seriously, this is exactly the case when firstly the guy is not to blame for what's going on with him, and secondly he still has a chance to come back and tear everyone apart. The Barca alumnus made his debut for the main team in 2019 at the age of 16 and became the youngest Blaugrana player in the last 78 years. Then all sorts of meaningless titles with the prefix youngest rained down on him like a daddy. The youngest goal scorer, the youngest player to score in the Champions League. Everything was going great. But in 2020, he damaged his meniscus and was out for a year. Fati returned almost a year later. But like a king, he received the number 10 from Messi, who left for PSG and scored in the very first game after returning. Now everything will be great. Yes, now in January 2022, he tore his cruciate ligaments and was out again for a long time. So far, Ansu can't come back. He went lousy on loan to Brighton. And now he's trying to become a main player in Barca, but nothing works out. Fati sometimes comes out at the end of matches, sometimes he doesn't get into the application at all. Although Hansi Flick kind of praises him in interviews. Another Joquet to get to the top. Twice he was given a salary of 14 million euros, because Barcelona handles finances worse than the client of the MFO. And of course Fati does not want to lose it and, for example, go on loan to Beşiktaş. While everything looks lousy, but the guy is only 22. Maybe this is not the end. Maybe more lousy is right to be called the new Pelé. If the previous guys from our hit parade were overestimated in their use or were unlucky, then here the hero should be offended only by his stupid head. Already at 18 he was a solid player of the Santos base, and the Eurogrand pushed each other elbow to elbow to get Robinho. Turned out at Real, where the Brazilian went in 2005. In Madrid, Robinho didn't get out of the clubs but was good, regularly scored and helped Real twice win La Liga. In 2008, he wanted more money and went to Manchester City, which was not yet a grant from the ward at all. There was a murmur. Played alone full season and got the achievement of many bad young footballers' accusation of rape. To get away from sin, he ran away to his native Santos. Then there was Milan, China, Turkey, and the sentence of the Italian court for another one of the Brazilian who cannot control what is in his pants. Tried to hide from prison in Santos, but due to pressure from fans, the contract with him was terminated. In 2024, Brazil carried out the Italian sentence and sent Robinho to jail. And how beautifully it all began. Number 3. Ganso. I bet on a slick that most of you do not even know who this is. And by the way, when Neymar lit up in Santos, Ganso was always called through a comma. Neymar and Ganso broke another record. Neymar and Ganso will soon leave for Europe. Ganso, by the way, is a nickname, so he is Paulo Henrique. So Paulo Henrique Ganso should have left for Europe before Neymar in 10th, Milan, Inter, PSG but Santos claimed him rejects to stop. Went to São Paulo, damn there. Hans chopped off another 4 seasons and still tried to conquer in Europe, but in Sevilla he didn't really succeed. In French, forgive me, Lord Amiens too. Now Hans is 35 years old and he is again watered in his homeland, Vasco da Gama. Number 2. Emre Mor. Classic case when a piece of __ seemed to be in good health. Rejected an offer from a Eurogrand that they wanted him almost from infancy, and in order to develop gradually, first signed with Nordjylland. Had a great season for it, then moved to Dortmund. Where? And there they know how to develop young talents. Mor scored for Borussia already in the second game, but after a while in Dortmund, they realized that he still had a lot of work to do to become a top player, but his huge ego prevents him from realizing it. The guy was quickly shipped off to the Spanish Cell, where he became famous for two things: that he was kicked out of training twice for violating discipline, and that at 21, he bought himself a throne. Yes, a throne edit, you hear right? Now, Emre Moru, 27, plays in Turkey for Fenerbahce. The dispute sounds like something very sad. Number 1. Royston Drent. Guys, meet the professor, sold the career-pouring master of the club, empty-headed Royston Drent. The Dutchman spent 2 luxurious seasons in the firm and became one of the best at the Youth Euro 2007. He was immediately wanted by top clubs and was overtaken by Real Madrid. The midfielder started well, but soon he was pinned to the bench by Marcelo, the future legend of the club. Then Dr. told that in Spain he hung out more than played and told stories, for example, about how the creamy ones threw darts at the photos of the Barca players before the classics. Arsenal and Everton did not bring any benefit, and in 2012, at 25 years old, Royston found himself without a club, but a year later suddenly surfaced in Vladikavkaz, Alanya. Then Drent told that his teammates sleek in the gates of Mordovia. This did not help. From the Premier League, Alanya flew out. After that, Drent wandered around the world. Yes, he ended his career. Now he gives an interview, speaks on television, and blows people's minds with rumors that he can become the new James Bond in the movies. Such is the crazy top 8 players whose careers were flushed down the toilet. Be sure to write in the comments who we forgot to include in this list, and of course like, subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss other cool videos yet.